All right, it's 6:30 straight up, and we have all 5 members of our committee present this evening. So we will reconvene this meeting that we recessed 1 week ago. Now, we need to go back a little bit since we have not had all 5 committee members here for the first meeting and the second meeting. Then the votes that we took to amend the bylaws are null and void. We need to take a second look at those amendments, and we'll need a motion to approve them again.
You have to go sit at the desk. You have to go sit at the desk.
Oh,
Sorry.
actually, I think I fixed it. I think everybody's here that's going to get tickets.
Okay.
I got your number in case we need to get some more out.
Okay,
Thank you, everyone.
The documents that we're working on right now are called approved amendments of standing rules and approved amendments of bylaws. So the chair will entertain a motion to approve the amendments first to the standing rules under Article 1 agenda and Article 2 duties of the officers.
I motion that we go ahead and approve the amendment to the standing rules,
Okay, is there a second?
Article 1 and 2.
Is there a second? Second. Okay. So we have a motion on the floor. Does anybody wish to make any comments? Have any debate?
For clarification, you're talking about 2Ds
Yes.
here, right?
Yes.
Well, what we changed was 3 minutes each time. We went from 4 to 3, correct?
Correct.
And then we went from the secretary shall be of the 4 signatories authorized for signing checks, because that was left out.
That's correct.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are we looking at the bylaws or rules?
The rules.
The standing rules. All right, there's a motion on the floor. All those in favor of approving the 2 amendments to the standing rules, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you. Now, we'll move on to the proposed amendments to the bylaws. Section 4, oh, wait a minute.
Do you have someone taking minutes?
Joyce is taking.
Just check.
Okay, yeah, the approved amendments to the bylaws. Article 2 is membership and privileges, and Article 3 is meetings.
And the changes that were made is in italicized.
That's correct.
By ballot vote, and for the organizational meeting following the primary, 10 days written notice for all other meetings.
Yes.
14 days?
Yeah, so it's 14 days there.
14 days written, 10 days.
All right, is there a motion on the floor to approve those?
I have a
There.
question. I'm sorry. The section 2 that says, or upon written petition of 25% of the members, I know that the election code states what that minimum is. Is that in line with this? This isn't like requesting a different percentage than what the
No,
law
it's
states?
in line with the election.
Okay, just checking.
All right, do we have a second to the motion?
Do we have a motion?
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, I don't think we really discussed those sets of bylaws, so now we're just approving amendments to them. And I'm having a little confusion with that.
Okay. Do we have a motion to amend the bylaws? Article 4. Bylaws, it's this one,
Well,
Article
yeah,
2 and
3,
Article 3.
We have a motion to amend them?
Yeah. To amend it as indicated in the
Oh,
italics.
and a ballot vote.
Mhm.
But she made a motion.
No, we're looking,
I made a comment, but I didn't think we had discussed the bylaws sufficiently to vote on changes to it.
what he's saying was the first meeting, we went ahead and went line by line, and so these were the changes that we made as a committee, and so.
But you didn't have a committee because I wasn't here.
Yeah. So now he wants to, if we, I assume that's what you want to do, right?
That's
If we move
correct.
forward, we want to go ahead and,
Yes.
it doesn't mean that we're motion to approve the whatever set of bylaws at this time because we had discussion. So I motion that we go ahead and accept the amendments to Article 2 and Article 3 of the bylaws.
All right, is there a second? Here a second to the motion?
Since there's not a second,
Mhm.
since there's not a second,
One
let's,
more time, is there a second to the motion?
Okay, well, you made the motion. So you need a second?
Yes.
Should I go and second?
It's
What
up to
happens if
you.
no one seconds it?
Then
Then the
the
motion
motion
fails.
dies.
Dies.
Mhm.
Well,
And we
does
just
it need
move
to
it.
die? I mean, if it dies, then it should be voted out. Well, they'll take a vote afterwards, so I go ahead and second it.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
In the event of
Okay.
a tie, the chair then votes, and there's a tie here. But I
vote.
think there needs to be a little bit of clarification on what she said. What bylaws are you amending?
We're amending the bylaws that the committee initially started with.
Okay, has that motion been made? Okay, I'm sorry.
And which set is that?
Is this according
It's
to
the one that-
Robert's rules
Yes,
of order this year?
and to the state
Do we
party.
have anyone that's giving us advice?
Yeah,
Like-
That's
Vanessa
me.
is the parliamentarian.
Are we following
Yeah.
this proper procedure as far as?
It's this one?
Yes,
Of course, I don't have that.
but I think there's confusion on the committee, so I hope that you guys will remedy that.
So go,
Oh,
break your tie. Yeah.
okay, I vote aye to approve them. Okay, we also had a couple of proposed amendments to the bylaws, both of them dealing with appointed officers. And I believe we had a tie vote, which apparently wasn't valid. So we need to go back and take a look at the proposed amendments to the bylaws. There's only two of them. Article 4, Section 2, the appointed officers. And we should have a copy of the proposal number 1 and proposal number 2.
And that looks like, let me see what that one looks like.
It says proposed amendments. This is the one that we were going to
Before.
read.
I don't know if that's the rules or not.
Okay. So I think we're just getting these to where they want them, and we're gonna go back and forth, I guess.
Yeah, that's how I understand it, Tom, right? We're just going to get one completed, and then we'll look at the various, we were talking about SRECs, we were talking about the county, divided by state, and by...
According to Robert's Rules of Order, we work on the bylaws that we established at the beginning.
Okay.
But we had no committee because this is the
Those-
first time.
Those meetings didn't count, literally, because the law states that every committee member has to be present in order to even conduct a committee meeting. So that has to be done today.
Okay. Then we will need a motion to approve a draft set of working rules.
Okay. And so my understanding, I read SREC's bylaws, and the sticking point was whether or not the county chair, according to the Texas manual for county chairs, and the jargon may not be correct here, so please forgive me, But the state of Texas provided a draft guideline for to each county chair to say, this is what the bylaws and rules you can follow, and modify them according to your particular needs for your county. And last week, we had a lot of people here, and SREC representative was here, and he said, well, maybe you'll want to consider SRECs. And so I looked at that as well, and the concern was whether or not the county chair's appointments need to be approved by the executive committee. And the terminology you were using was ratification, if I understood correctly.
Right.
And the terminology that SREC is using is confirmation, except for the parliamentarian. It just says shall appoint a parliamentarian, which is strange. The other appointed officers were all, with the confirmation of SREC. So I don't know why the parliamentarian was left out in the SREC. So the question is whether or not we go with what the state has provided as guidelines and modify them, or go by what we were using from 84 to 96 or something like that?
82 to 96.
82 to 96. Okay. So now that we're,
Tom,
Yes.
there are a lot of other things in the SREC, and I did talk to Steve Ministeri about that, and he suggested that we not adopt the SREC bylaws because they were written for a different purpose, and they allow for things like proxies and other things that would not be applicable to us. And so his best suggestion was that we start with the county manual, the county chairman's manual, because that is more applicable to counties. Theirs have some different things in them because they're statewide elected. So they represent the entire state once they're on the SRC.
and I did speak with 4 individuals who live in my precinct, of which 3 were state delegates. And they said the simpler we can keep it with the accountability built in, the better it would be for the party. That's how their feeling is. So whichever one leans towards that.
And truthfully, proxies are not allowed on the executive committee. They are allowed on the state executive committee, so that would be in violation of the law. So that's something to consider too.
So now the question on the table is whether or not we adopt the draft provided from 82 to 96, or whether or not we go ahead and adopt the draft that the state provides to the county chairs. Is that what I understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
And pros and cons, the pros and cons are what? The pros for drafting the bylaws that you provided, that were used from 82 to 96, my understanding is there was a lot of opportunities for people to be involved and have input. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the con that I sense is the word confirmation of the executive committee. And some people would say that's good, some people would say that's bad. But I can understand how a county chair gets voted in and gets his team together, and then some disgruntled SREC members start using the phone or whatever forms of communication to undermine. Case in point, when I was going to work the other day, one of my colleagues walked up to me and they said, "Hey, were your ears burning?" Or made a comment. I said, "What's going on?" They said, "Oh, Mr. Bertuzzi is on Lago in the morning and he's saying blah 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 about the new county chair and the new people involved in the Republican Party."
I heard it too.
Okay, and so I just kind of said, well, that's Bertuzzi, he's got a different perception. I said, we want people involved. We could care less who they are, what they believe, and we just want people involved, period.
That's right.
So with that being said, I don't know whether or not Bertuzzi has such an influence on the executive committee where he may try to undermine the new county chair.
The comments that we received last week from folks like Joe Vollmer and from Sam Dalton was that